welcome to my channel. My name is Rhea, and in this video we are going to talk about the top 5 keto mistakes. Right, but before we begin, I do request you to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you can be notified every time I post a video. I also have a workout channel where I post home workout videos, workouts that you can do from home without much equipment. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. So now let's get started with the top 5 keto mistakes. Right now, the ketogenic diet is something that I've done for a long time. I don't do keto anymore, but I did it for at least 2 years of my life. And now I have a more balanced approach towards eating. I still like the low carb approach. I still like the keto approach, but I feel like with my lifestyle currently, I just prefer my current way of eating, which is not exactly keto, right? It's a little different from keto. But let's talk about the top 5 mistakes that a lot of people make and that I also made when I started my ketogenic diet. Right, the first and the most important one was that I didn't pay attention to my electrolytes. Right, the ketogenic diet and fasting in general, I used to fast a lot as well. Now I try to fast maybe 12 to 14 hours a day, but I have done 16-hour fasts, 18-hour fasts, 1 day a meal diet. I've done those, and in these two, with keto and fasting, what I really missed out on was electrolytes. Right, I didn't pay attention to that, and that can be a deal breaker when you're on keto. Right, it can make you feel what people call the keto flu. It can make you feel lethargic. It can make you feel like you're out of balance. Right, so when I started, I did not have this concept of I need to pay attention to my electrolytes as well. I just thought that they would balance themselves out. But soon I learned that that's an important part of the ketogenic diet, and electrolytes, sodium, potassium, magnesium, right? These are very important. Sodium is something that's there in pink salt and sea salt, right? Potassium is there in green leafy vegetables, and magnesium is there in things like nuts and green leafy vegetables, again, chocolate as well, right? So making sure that we take in our electrolytes and stay hydrated with fluids is important, right? So that's the first mistake that I made on keto. The second mistake I made on keto is not consuming the right kind of fats, right? So a lot of people, when they start keto, it's fat, right? Any kind of fat. But there's a distinction between fats that are good for you and fats that are not so good for you. Right? Things like olive oil, things like nuts, seeds, all these things are healthy fats. Avocados, right? But things like fats in processed foods, things like refined oil, right? These are things we want to consume less. We want to avoid these things. We don't want to consume too much of these things in our diet, right? We don't want to go on a keto diet where we are literally frying our veggies in refined vegetable oil. That's something that's counterproductive because we do keto for health reasons, right? And if you're doing that, then that's not healthy. So the second thing is that focusing on sources of fat that are healthy is important. The third mistake that can happen with keto, and I have done this as well, is not consuming enough protein, right? Yes, we have the ratios 70% above fat and 20 to 25% protein. But what I felt is that I was very active, right? And if you are very active, if you're an active individual, you might need a little more protein. So making sure that you consume enough protein is important on keto, right? It's not like you keep eating protein all day, but making sure that you eat adequate protein is important and not just focus on fats and veggies, right? Protein should be an integral part of the ketogenic diet. And I feel if you are somebody who's active, right, then your protein requirements might be different from, say, a sedentary individual who's doing ketogenic diet to lose a lot of pounds, right, and not really exercising or lifting heavy. The fourth mistake I made with ketogenic is eating too many calories, right? Because fat is such a condensed source of calories. It's easy to overdo it, right? It's easy to just keep eating those nuts. It's easy to keep adding oil to your coffee. It's easy to do that sort of stuff, and the calories add up. So yes, I do feel that although you're on ketogenic diet, but if you're consuming too many calories, you're in a calorie surplus. And if you're doing keto to lose weight, then that might not happen because you're eating too many calories, right? So being mindful of the amount of calories we're consuming from fat is also important. Not overdoing it is important, and that's something I learned as well. Now, the fifth mistake I made is that I became too rigid with the ketogenic diet, right? Ketogenic diet, yes, does ask for a certain level of rigidity just to go through with that. But that being said, over time, if you're going to use it as a lifestyle, it's important to be a little flexible, right? Going out or, having people over or anything like that requires a little bit of food flexibility. So it's important that we integrate that in our lives, right? Be a little flexible sometimes, right? It's okay if everything is not zero carb or, very low on the carb spectrum. In fact, if you're lifting, if you're working out a lot, a little bit of carb can go a long way. So I just wanted to share the top 5 keto mistakes that I have seen others make and I have made myself when I started on this. And I hope this video was useful in some way. So now I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.